Yeah, what you do is you just I don't know, it's like a cosmetic thing. It's not that expensive. It's like 50 to 350 bucks or some shit I saw.
It's a
And
wide
that's the
range.
thing. You get them like filed down. That's how, celebrities have perfect looking teeth.
Well, they probably have veneers.
Well, that too.
Like The Rock has like a insane set of veneers.
Oh yeah, Roman Reigns too.
Yeah,
He
because
when he
if you ever watch Rock talk, you can catch it. His bottom teeth are all fucked up.
Oh really? But he's got the top that are just perfect. Yeah, he's got like
Yeah,
cheese balls.
I mean, dude, you really gotta like look for it to catch it. You know.
Mhm. It was easy when Roman Reigns left for a while and then he came back and he had this big fucking piano key looking smile. You're like,
Yeah,
his whole jawline and everything changed. Just like a totally different dude.
kind of like the flat girl coming back with D tits. You know.
Exactly. Like you're not fooling anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, because it started with what did it start with? Yeah, it started with getting kicked in the face during a wrestling match.
Mm.
I kicked in the face during a wrestling match and it fucking chipped it. And then my daughter, actually, I think it made it worse, where I was taking a drink of a glass and I was holding her and she moved her elbow as I was taking a sip and the glass fucking popped me in the tooth and that chipped my tooth more.
Mm.
And then now I just notice it more and more. And the more we talk and everything, it's like they're the only things that stand out. I'll file them down. I'll take care of that shit. Something to look a little better on here. Um, yeah. So, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. Fucking hate
Yeah.
the holidays.
Hey, what?
I hate the holidays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
That's not how it should go.
Yeah, it's not. Well, thankfully I have kids, so kids make it okay. But
Yeah.
everything else is just the divvying up where to go, this and that. It's always a fucking problem. If I'm not fighting with my wife, I'm fighting with my parents. If I'm not fighting with my parents, I'm fighting with my wife.
Oh,
Not like it hasn't been that way for a while anyway.
yeah.
Anyway, uh, yes, you saw Ghostbusters today.
Oh, dude.
I saw it
Unbelievable.
Saturday. It
Yeah.
was it was epic to be able to take my kid to it. I was so excited myself, and I kept like pumping him up to do it. Like, buddy, you
Yeah.
pumped to go see Ghostbusters? Um, yeah. So my kid, he was into it at first. This is the first time I ever took him to the movies. I know you've
Right.
taken your kids to the movies a bunch of times. This is the first time I ever actually
Yeah.
took him to the theater. And he was good at first. He was into it. He was really like taken back by how many people there were and how far back the seats went.
Right.
Um, in the middle, he kind of got bored and he was laying down and spinning around. There was like nobody in our row pretty much, so it wasn't so bad. But he kind of got out of it. And then when it picked up in the climax, um, he kind of sat right back into it. He turns to me and he goes, "Daddy, here comes the fun part," and he got back into it again. But it wasn't so bad. But the movie itself was fucking awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was phenomenal, man. There's so much like nostalgia and it
Yeah,
was just they taught just the way they tied in everything was just great.
yeah. So all right, so let's do a quick non-spoiler chat, and then we'll do the spoiler chat. Um, Yeah, I definitely thought the two. The I haven't seen a lot of negative reviews. I think it's got like a 60 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, but like a
Dude,
96% from
Rot,
people who,
Rotten Tomatoes lately is trash. I think they've been affected by the whole, media and like which way you lean shit too.
that
Cause
could be.
like I've seen things where it's like audience score is like 90, but their
Yeah,
fucking critic score is like 20. It's like, come
that's
on.
exactly how it is.
You
If
gotta look
audience
at the
scores is
fucking
60,
audience score, audience score.
yeah, the audience score is like a 96 and the critic score is a 68, I think, which is fucking absurd. Because I thought it
Yeah.
was great, and everybody I know that's seen it has loved it, and every video
Yeah.
I've
I've talked to a couple
watched.
people that have seen it too. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. It was an awesome trip to the movies. I saw it in IMAX, which wasn't that crazy. The screen was big. It's not in 3D, which is good, but the screen was big. But there's a scene, because I mean, it's no spoiler in the trailer that there's earthquakes.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously there's a big earthquake. And that's when the IMAX, you're like, okay, now I know why I'm here for the IMAX because the whole fucking theater rumbled. And that was a cool experience for my son to go through to have that, where the whole fucking place was shaking and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so yeah, so all right, I guess we'll get into spoilers now. and we'll talk about some things that happened in the movie. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you knew Harold Ramis was going to be in it
Oh yeah.
somehow. You knew they were going to have a CGI Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
It was awesome that
It's
the whole
so
movie,
crazy what they can do with that shit.
unbelievable. Yeah, when he shows up at the end and like it's just him, it's just a computer generated him.
Yeah.
That whole aspect of it, man, that's when all that goes down, there's so much that goes into it because not only is it just it's emotional anyway because he's dead in real life and even for the story he's dead so he just shows up but then even like when they're talking to him and like Ernie Hudson says like I should have called more, I was a bad friend, I should have called more, and you're like man
Yeah.
that's like probably what Ernie Hudson would say to him for real,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it extra emotional when you're watching it.
Yep. Yeah, it was I didn't know that all I knew obviously from the trailer that Dan Aykroyd was gonna be in it, but I had no idea that all of them were gonna be in it.
Oh
I
really?
said
Oh of course.
I
Oh
did
you missed,
I
there's
only
a
watched like two trailers. I didn't read too much into it, you know.
there was one trailer that came out recently where Bill Murray makes a comment at the end. I guess you missed that one.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
missed
that's good.
that.
Yeah, he shows up. Um, it's pretty much it's the scene where they show up, but it just shows
Yeah.
like their bodies walking up dressed in gear, and Bill Murray just going like, "Did you miss us?" Which is what he says in the movie, and that's it. Like that's all they tease you with. You knew they were coming, but um, I tell you what, I found that part a little anticlimactic.
Really?
Yeah, I
Why is
knew
that?
because I knew it was coming, but it's
Ah,
like, and then later on as the movie goes, you're like, okay, they're just really gonna show up at the end and save the day. And
yeah.
but when they come up, it's like straight up fourth wall breaking. Like, yeah, we didn't know we were gonna get back together again, but here we are. And they
Yeah.
just, yeah, that's like all it was. Like it was, they're so relaxed and joking about it. That's why it's like, thankfully, there's more to it after they show up. It's not like
Yeah.
they show up and clean house and then that's the end of it. There's a lot more to it after they show up, which was cool. But then how they showed up, I wasn't nuts about. I mean, I didn't hate it. I just, there was I wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah, I figured I knew Dan Aykroyd was gonna show up,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
Did you
didn't know
see
the other two.
did you see that trailer when she calls and he answers the phone and he said,
Yeah,
"Raise
he
the
says we're
cold."
closed. And he hangs
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that so when you heard that, I remember when I saw that in the
Yeah.
trailer, I was like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool how they just tied everything in and
Yeah. The whole story is just it's pretty much the first movie, but with all new characters.
I love when the mom gets, possessed. She becomes one of the fucking wild dogs. I don't know if
Yep.
she's the which
She's
role she was. Which one is she?
she's Zool. She's the
Oh, okay.
gatekeeper.
Right, yeah. Um, but the way she did like that deep breathing, like Sigourney Weaver does in
Yep.
the first one, it was
There's
funny.
there's every throwback, even like in the beginning when Egon sits in the chair and the terror
Yeah.
dog comes in and the hands come up through the chair to grab him. Like that's exactly. There's so many things that tie into the first one. Even there's really not a lot of things where you're like, all right, come on. But when she first finds his costume or his flight suit,
Yeah.
and she pulls out the Nestle Crunch bar out of the pocket,
Yeah.
that's a throwback to the first one in like the first scene, one of the first scenes where Peter hands Egon a Nestle Crunch bar. And I'm like, okay, they never referenced it again in the next two movies. It happened like at the very beginning of the first movie, and now there's the Crunch bar. It's like a very deep cut for people that see it to be like, oh, cool, look, they did that. Kind of
Yeah.
unnecessary. But there, the scene, man, seeing the kids when they're first when they're busting that first ghost, and they're
Yeah.
trying to figure out the car and figure out the trap, and they're going after the ghost like they just know to do it.
Yeah.
That made me feel like me playing with my Ghostbusters toys, and that's exactly how it would be. It was so much fun. I fucking loved it. I loved
Yeah,
it so
no,
much.
it was great. And I loved hearing like the fucking siren on Ecto One,
Yep.
and
All the same sound effects and everything.
yeah. Hey dude, all the little the music throughout the whole movie.
Yep.
It was 100% fucking old school Ghostbusters,
Yeah, and the new kids were great. Finn Wolfhard,
Yeah.
the kid from Stranger Things, he was excellent. The girl
Yep.
that's Egon's granddaughter, she's been in a bunch of shit. But she was in The Haunting of Hill House too. But she's excellent in it. She's very like, plays it straight, and she's just like Egon pretty much. The kid
Yeah.
podcast too was
Yeah.
fucking great.
Yep.
When he tells Ray, "You got to be on my podcast," and he
Yeah.
tells her the name of it.
He's his one subscriber.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was so much fun.
yeah, he's like episode 46. You really found your voice or
Yeah.
whatever.
Did you ever play the Ghostbusters video game?
I want to say I have played it.
Well,
Not
how
a
about
lot.
that? Were you a big Ghostbusters fan?
Oh yeah, huge.
Yeah, dude. Me and Alan were at Comic Con one year, and we were playing. We're playing. It's like Legends of WrestleMania was coming out, and they had it, and we're playing it because we got. This was like before Comic Con was super mobbed, so we'd get on the floor super early. You'd actually get to play video games without waiting in line for an hour. And we're
Right.
playing this, and we see out of the corner of our eye, you can test play Ghostbusters. And they had like lockers set up, and Alan's playing it, and he's like, "Man, I'm not even in this right now. I'm already over there. I'm already over there." We had to ditch our game and go play Ghostbusters, and it was fucking awesome. We only got to play the Wii one because the other two, the PlayStation and Xbox, were so busy. Um, but that game, I played it for 360. It was you talk about the music and the sound effects. That when they wrote it, so Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd wrote the story of the video game.
Oh
Dan
yeah.
Aykroyd wrote it like it's Ghostbusters 3.
Oh nice.
He wrote it like it's the movie. It ties into Gozer and Evo Shandor and all that other shit. Plus the sound effects. There's so much stuff and there's so many Easter eggs in it. Like if you go in, you can walk around the firehouse a little bit, and there's like the painting of Vigo is in the firehouse, and you
Oh
can
yeah.
you can interact with it and it talks to you. There's so much stuff, and it was great. The game was excellent. You go back to the hotel from the first one, and you go back to the library and catch the ghost in the beginning of the first one, which everybody was like, why don't they ever do that? You think that's the first ghost they would catch?
Yeah.
Um, but what I want to know, because they wrote it like that's canon almost, but since this guy Evo Shandor is introduced in this one, like physically, which is wild because it was J.K. Simmons, which was a cameo that I don't think anybody knew was in the
Yeah.
movie. Um, he's like the big villain in the Ghostbusters video game, and you take him out. So now it's like, it's kind of a bummer. Is the video game no longer canon when it was so awesome and the story was so cool? But so I think that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a review of some dude where he said two. He's like they retcon Ghostbusters 2, and no, they absolutely do not at all.
Wait, what was that? They do
He
what?
says he says they retcon Ghostbusters 2, which is pretty much they ignore Ghostbusters 2 like it doesn't exist. And like
Oh,
Ghostbusters 2 does not exist in this world. But that's not true because Ray works at the bookstore and they reference Ghostbusters 2 a couple of other times. Like
yeah.
it's not retconned at all. I don't know why you would even say that.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
You saw the last Ghostbusters, right? The one with all the fucking chicks in it?
Yes. Did you? It
No,
was garbage.
I'm sure it was. It looked like garbage. I
It
didn't even
was.
bother.
Yeah, there's a cool CGI fight scene at the end. Like where they're fighting all these ghosts in Times Square, and they're using all these like new weapons and stuff, which is cool. Like Kate McKinnon is really good in it, who plays like the Egon type, um, but like a wacky Egon, and that was good. That was cool, because that's when it plays the Ghostbusters song and stuff, which was good. But the rest of the movie was just garbage.
It
It
looked
was
like trash. It was just like, oh, we have to put a movie out there with 4 females in it just to check that box.
yeah,
It seems so forced. It was awful.
that's
Like,
exactly the
like
case.
look what they did for this one. Like the four, if you will, Ghostbusters in this movie were 2 females and 2 males.
Yeah,
No problem. It's
yeah,
just it was so obvious. The last one, it was just like, oh, we're doing it all 4 females. Like,
yeah. We can't remake it with all guys. We got to remake it
yeah,
with all girls.
right, exactly. But it was forced and just not, natural. Like this
Yeah,
one was fucking awesome. The way they play it off, like, it's Egon's granddaughter. It was so well done. It was great.
yeah, the other one, it does a lot of slapstick humor. It just doesn't catch the vibe of Ghostbusters at all.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
this totally did.
yeah, because Ghostbusters is very, and I watched a clip today too of Ernie Hudson talking about why Ghostbusters is good. Like it's very serious story and science fiction, but it's with humor in it. So it's very
Yeah,
smart humor. And the remake was like just slapstick goofball humor with Saturday Night Live characters out the ass. It was
yeah,
terrible. It
yeah,
was so bad. But that's the movie because I don't know if they were hoping that that starts a whole deal because that's the first movie that Ghost Corp was under, which you probably saw that in the title
yeah.
card at the beginning of
Yep.
the movie. There's a whole production company now just for Ghostbusters.
Really?
Yeah. I watched an interview yesterday with Jason Reitman, who, the guy who directed it, wrote it.
Yep.
Ivan Reitman's son, the son of the guy who wrote and directed, helped write and direct the first one. I don't know if you directed the second one. I think so. But he's walking around the Ghost Corps production building. Like they have all the toys in a glass case. He's got the cassette that he's got the beta cassette of the first viewing ever of Ghostbusters. The script where they show all the ad libs and all the other stuff, like the production script while they were filming, what they changed, what they added in. He's got all this stuff plus a bunch of toys in a glass case. Like it's dedicated just to make Ghostbusters stuff. And that's what they're looking to do now. They're hoping that this starts like an MCU universe of Ghostbusters movies.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be
You,
awesome.
did you stay for after the credits?
I stayed for the first one. And then my
Two?
kid wanted to leave, so I didn't stay for the second one. I knew there was two. I looked it up as soon as it was over. I looked it up. There
Oh,
was two.
fuck. What was the
Um,
second one? Because I didn't stay for that either.
so the first one, because you can find it online. It's on YouTube. Both of them. Yeah. So the first one is just Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, shocking him when he's reading the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and so the second one is actually it starts with a deleted scene from the first one where Janine's talking to Egon and she says, "Here, take this lucky coin from the World's Fair." And he's like, "I don't think I should take it. We might not be coming back." And she goes, "Take it. I have another one at home." And then they cut to her and she's holding it in her hand and she's talking to Winston. And they're in Winston's, I guess, they're in like his one of his office buildings because they mentioned that Winston is very rich now and very successful
Yeah.
businessman. And he talks about how much it means to him to be a Ghostbuster. And while they're talking, it flashes to him walking in the firehouse, and then it flashes to him opening the doors and then pushing in Ecto One, and then so pretty much kind of signifying that Winston's bringing the Ghostbusters back.
Oh, okay.
And then it cuts to the containment unit, and the red light is flashing on the containment unit because just to let you know that it's full or shit's going down. Because when the light is green, trap is clean. So when it's red, there's something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. A really cool Easter egg. I don't know if you knew. How familiar are you with Ghostbusters 2?
Oh, pretty familiar. I mean, I've watched both of them probably 50 times each.
Fucking love Ghostbusters. It's the greatest.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, there is where they go to the birthday party. And the kid gets in their face and says, my dad says you guys are full of crap.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a kid, he gets in their face and he says, you guys are full of crap. And Ray says, well, some people have trouble believing in the paranormal. And he goes, no, my dad said you guys are just full of crap and that's why you run out of business. The kid that says that is Jason Reitman, who like we just said, grew up to write and direct this movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. So for his dad to be like one of the creators of the Ghostbuster films, and then him to actually grow up being such a Ghostbusters fan, like most of us as a kid,
Yeah.
it's like it's probably like a dream come true in him to actually make this kind of movie and have fun
Yeah.
with it. That's why
cool.
it was so good.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yep. Yeah, and you can actually see it online. They have the first 10 minutes of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters actually, the whole movie is actually on YouTube. But you can watch the first 10 minutes of Ghostbusters 2 on YouTube, and it includes that scene.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2 was on at the I brought my boys to get their haircut last week and it was on.
Nice. I liked it.
Dude,
A
it's
lot of people
wild. I
hated it.
feel like Janine didn't age that much.
Like at all? Or
No, not at all, clearly, but she aged very well.
Yeah, and Annie Potts. Yeah, I forget. They did an interview, I think, with her when the remake came out, and she was wearing some kind of like low cut dress that like went all the way down. I'm like, man, she is like late 50s, but she ain't looking too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Bill Murray looks a little rough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, he looks a little rough because he put on a ton of weight. Ernie
Yeah.
Hudson looks good.
No, dude, you know what? I'm telling you, black people, they age fucking gracefully, man.
It's true.
They really do. Dude, I refed basketball for a little bit. I refed with this one dude. He was like 55, but refing with him, I'm like, this guy might be like 2 or 3 years older than me. And this
Yeah.
was like fucking 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's talking, and I'm like, oh, what do you do for work? He's like, oh, I'm a retired CO. I'm like, retired? I was like, how fucking old are you? He's like, oh, I'm 54 or 53. I was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, he's just like, his skin, his face, is how in shape you are. I was like, wow, holy shit. I was like, good for
Yeah.
you. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I thought you were like 35.
Yeah, I
This
know,
is
right?
insane, man.
He does, right? He look and compared, like I said, Bill Murray looks like a mess, which I hate to say.
Yeah. Oh,
Not the
yeah.
best, but yeah, he looks rough. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Ghostbusters was great. We loved it. I want to go
Yeah.
watch it again. There's only a shitty copy of it out there. I've seen people online going 3, 4 times to see it.
Oh, I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it. It was so good. I've been trying to find clips like crazy on YouTube, anything I can just to watch some of it.
Yeah.
Next to Spider-Man.
Yep.
Spider-Man, if you go on YouTube, there's a group called One Media. Every day they are posting a new TV spot with like a new clip in it, which is crazy. They're giving away so much of the movie. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stay away from that stuff. I'm just
Yeah, I know. I can't. I usually try to because I
yeah.
hate spoilers, but I've been watching all of them because I'm so curious. Um, G4 is back. Did you ever watch G4?
Was that
Channel?
video game channel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a gaming pop
That's where
culture.
like Olivia Munn got her big
Yeah,
start.
it's like a
Yeah.
pop culture channel. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
back.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but it doesn't have an actual channel, which is something that like I always thought this. There's no reason why more people don't do this. You just need the income to do it. Like, why do you need to get on a television network when there's YouTube? Like, when people watch, I don't know, we might have talked about this on the first episode. So wrestling these days, Monday Night Raw, maybe 1.5 million people watch now. I remember there used to be like 14 million people that watched it. Now there's a
Yeah.
1.5 million people. So Hot Ones, right? You know Hot Ones, right? The YouTube show where they interview people while they eat hot wings.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one with Paul Rudd. Like, look at
Yeah.
us.
Hey, look at us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Not me. Yeah. Hot Ones is fucking great. So let me look real quick and see. So, like I said, 1.5 million people every week watch Monday Night Raw. This is wrestling we're talking about. This is fucking nuts. So Mia Kunis, 3 weeks ago, Mia Kunis was on there eating hot wings.
Yeah.
4.7 million people watched that.
Wow.
Jeremy Renner, 2 million people. Salma Hayek, 3.5 million people. Jimmy Kimmel, 2.6 million people. John Bernthal, 4 million people. Gordon Ramsay, this was 2 years ago, but this video of Gordon Ramsay, 97 million people.
Oof.
Gordon Ramsay eating hot wings. So why you don't need to be on TV? Start your own fucking TV station on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do a continuous TV show on YouTube because the whole world can watch it from anywhere at any time.
I'm sure it's a money thing.
I guess. I mean, you just need production values to make it look good.
Because YouTube, right? You get paid per like view and stuff, right?
I think you get like $20 for every 1,000 views,
Yeah.
$18, something. I don't know.
Well, right, whatever it is. But think about it. You actually have to get the views to get the money. Meanwhile, if they do stuff on like TV, it's probably a contract. It's like, hey, this is what you're getting paid no matter who
Well,
watches.
it's all advertising revenue. So I guess TV they have advertisers that they can already squeeze in. When you're starting
Yeah.
out with a YouTube channel, you don't have any advertising, so you don't have any money coming in. But if you had like the startup capital, and then you could get the attention and get the watchers. Like, because G4 you could only watch on YouTube and on Twitch. That's it. But it's just like the channel of old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always thought that's like wrestling programs. And the NWA had a TV show, NWA Power, when they tried coming back. It was just like the old days, Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling, studio wrestling, and it was only on YouTube. I don't think it had huge numbers, which was a problem, but like, why not do that? Like all these small wrestling, independent wrestling, have a weekly wrestling show you can just put on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't need a fucking TV show that you compete with the big guys every week. Put it on YouTube every week. Millions of people can see it, and it's free to
Yeah.
upload to YouTube.
I'm sure there's a reason why people opt for TV over YouTube, you know.
You know what it is too. I think a lot of it is just that's what the go-to is. You think once because everybody has a TV in their house, but I don't have cable.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck's going on TV. I watch on YouTube, and that's the start of it. That's only how it'll go in the future. Because who wants cable? Everybody has streaming services and shit.
I want cable. Love cable.
Well, yeah, you watch live sport, but can't you watch like if you get ESPN Plus? Can you watch some stuff? Can you watch games on
Yeah,
Amazon
but
too?
see, this is the thing, man. The whole like cutting the cord was cool and it was a great idea. But now it's like everyone has their own streaming service. Like, I used to be able to watch everything on like net. Like you used to be able to like, all right, I have Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime. I got everything covered. Now there's fucking Paramount. Now there's Peacock. There's this. There's that. So like, if you get all the streaming services to cover all the bases, you're paying just as much, maybe more than you are for cable now.
Yeah.
And I still think streaming isn't a fucking perfect science yet, dude. Cable's reliable as it comes. Like I just finished watching a Ranger game. Like turn on MSG, the Rangers are there. I fucking stream it. It could be buffering, something's up. Maybe my internet's slow because my fucking kid's streaming something too. There's all these other.
Yeah, I mean, because your cable and your internet are same.
Well, right, but they're two different things. The internet's the internet. The cable never gets interrupted. Like my kid could be streaming his ass off. My cable doesn't slow down. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just reliable. Also, too, like I don't like the delay streaming has. Like, if I am stuck somewhere where I'm watching like one of my I'll watch the Mets streaming a lot because I'll be at work. I'll like throw it on my phone. Dude, I'll get a text from buddies who are watching, like, "Oh, Alonso home run." And then I wait 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's.
So there's the, and I hate, dude, I hate when shit's buffering or like the picture quality. You can see it goes down to like 480, because the internet slows down a little bit, then it picks back up. Cable's just super reliable.
Yeah. And like we've talked about this a shitload of times. That's what, you watch live sports, live TV, and you need like up to the second coverage.
Right.
And that's where it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, there's nothing live. Like I don't even watch wrestling. I can watch the clips on YouTube when I need, or on Facebook when I need to see something. So I have no interest in live TV at all.
Yeah, no, I get that. And yeah, honestly, that's the only thing I really watch that's live, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, not for everything, but like I said, if you were going to have like, I think about it all the time. I don't know what the hell I would do. And obviously I don't have the money to do it, but like, yeah, do like a week of programming, like any other TV station. You could do it all and just do YouTube.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually priced it out one day. I was sitting at work. I did the math. So because I have cable, I have Spectrum, I have Showtime and HBO. So that entitles me to like free, like HBO Max and Showtime anytime because I pay. So when I log in through Spectrum, because you can pay Showtime and HBO Max. You could pay those like standalone streaming fees, But I did the math. They're kind of expensive. I sat down, I did all the math. For me to get all the streaming services that would cover like everything I needed, I think it was $20 more than what I pay right now for cable. And
really,
my cable bill, it's not just cable, it covers phone, internet, and cable.
Yeah.
So if I were to get dude, these these cable companies know, like when you bail on their cable, they jack your price up of your internet because they know you need it, So like what I pay for my internet is probably cheaper than what you pay, overall, yes, your cable bill is cheaper. But again, like depending on what streaming services you pay for, you might be paying the same as someone with cable, you know?
Yeah, and that definitely happens, and everybody brings up that argument too because it's true. Because
Right.
you can
Now,
watch
when this
one
first was a
show.
thing, I think, you know, you made out if you cut the cord, but now I think it's caught up and
Yeah, and there's ways to watch stuff, without it. But like I
yeah,
have,
no, I know that. But again, I've experimented with that. Sometimes that gets unreliable, you
well, that's true.
know.
Yeah,
It
that's
gets
yeah,
figured out and like someone shuts it down. It's just, I don't know. Again, man, I like throwing the fucking TV on and knowing exactly what I want to watch is gonna be fucking there and there's
yeah,
no issue. It's clear, there's no delay, there's no guessing game, like if it's gonna be there or not.
yeah,
So
and that's yeah, because that's obviously a frustrating part. If you want to watch something and you can't when you're expecting to, but
yeah.
if it was
But
on normal TV, you could.
you bring up a good point. If it wasn't for sports, you know, like if you're fucking following a show, how imperative is it that you watch it live as it's being aired? You know, probably
Yeah,
not.
and like with Hulu, Hulu covers a shitload of channels.
Yeah,
So like it's available the next day. And like 3 o'clock in the morning the next day. So if you want to watch it the next day, it's there. And I've got Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime, um, and Netflix. And I think that's it.
yeah,
For movies too, there's so many. Like if you just want to bullshit around and watch movies, there's so many other free sites out there. Like there's Pluto TV, which is tons of just like it's actually live TV, but a hundred bunch of channels you can watch just dedicated to old shows and specific shows. But there's news and there's sports and stuff like that. But not really live, but live as in it's a continuous running channel. That's Pluto. Tubby
yeah,
or Tubi TV is movies. Crackle has movies and original content. There's shitloads of free ones you could because and then what they do is they throw in commercials. So it's just like you're watching regular TV. That's how they can give that shit to you for free. And then yeah, then Netflix is Netflix. Disney Plus is like a gotta have at this point, especially for
yeah.
us. We were just watching. I was
I
just
get
watching
Disney
Jungle Cruise.
Plus. I got the bundle. It's Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu.
I haven't done that yet because
Yeah, I
I
think it's like
have.
$12 a month.
Yeah, I have Disney Plus, and I have Hulu, but I bought them separately. So I don't know how to now sign up for ESPN, like make it part of the bundle. Because pretty much you buy two and get one free is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that work.
If you sign up for ESPN Plus and you like, I think you'll log in with the same username and password. I think it like recognizes it. I think it kind of just automatically joins your account.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So
Yeah, I never went through with it because again, yeah, if I sign up for it, then I'm gonna have to pay and shit like that. Because ESPN, I'm not really gonna watch that much anyway.
yeah,
But it's just a matter of time. Or there's gonna be something on there once in a while that I'd want to see. Um, yeah. So yeah, streaming's awesome. Um, so let's see, what else do I got here? Uh, Kyle Rittenhouse was a big deal. I didn't want to talk about it. A lot of people have the misconception that it's a race thing, and it's really not at all.
yeah. Hey, look, and then today, the Aubrey, forget the guys. I don't want to butcher his name. I should fucking know it. But those three fucking hillbillies that chased him down and shot him, they were convicted of murder today.
Yeah. Yep.
So again, man, like I'm a big believer. I think the justice system works. And look, like, hey, it is what it is. A black man, was given justice. Granted, that doesn't fix it. He's still gone. But I mean, the justice system did right by him. That guy was fucking murdered, and it was clear as day. And
Yeah.
the jurors, 12 jurors found these three men guilty, and it was the right thing. And again, Kyle Rittenhouse. Look, I mean, obviously, what he did, people let their feelings get in the way of facts, but there was fucking 12 jurors, his peers, that found him not guilty too, because they were there in the courtroom listening to the facts. They were able to break down the law, the way it was articulated, and just it was what the guy didn't do anything illegal, and he was found that way. Like you could make the argument: should this guy be walking out with a rifle? Sure, you can make that argument, but the thing is, you're legally allowed to fucking do it, and you're legally allowed to protect yourself. in self-defense, you know?
Yeah, because what happened? Because I know one of the arguments I saw was that only two people died that day, and both of them were shot by Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes.
But now what happened? They grabbed his gun.
So when you see the video, he's got his rifle like slung over his back, right? He's not even carrying it in what you would call, you know, in the military or law enforcement, like the ready, right? He doesn't have his like hand on a pistol grip. And now people are coming after him and he swings it around. He gets like pushed down, he gets like punched. One guy fucking strikes him with a skateboard. And then the one guy, the suspect who's alive, who testified, the guy that got shot in the arm, he got like 90% of his bicep blown off. There's pictures clear as day, and you can see it in the video. That man is holding a fucking pistol. Dude, I got news for you. If I point a pistol at you and you shoot me and kill me, you are 100% justified all the time, 7 days a week. Like, there's no two ways around it, dude. You don't point a weapon, you don't point a firearm at someone unless you have bad intentions. And like, if that gun goes off, you're probably going to die. So you have every right to defend yourself. So this guy points a pistol on Kyle Rittenhouse's face and he fucking shoots him.
Yeah.
100% justified. And then the other two were fucking attacking him. One hit him with a skateboard, which can be considered, you know, a dangerous instrument, not exactly a deadly weapon, but you can still cause death with that, you know? So he defends himself with that. And hey, you know, all these jurors deliberated over it. You know, all the facts were presented, and you know, this wasn't like a, you know, one day thing. They thought it out and looked at everything, and he was found not guilty, and rightfully so, you know?
Yeah.
And again, people were like, oh, and I don't know how the fuck race gets brought up. Kyle Rittenhouse is white. The three people he shot, all white.
All
like,
white. Yeah.
I don't.
Wasn't it like a Black Lives Matter rally that he went to?
Yeah, sure. Well, it was the protests or riots, which what they really were. It was the riots over the Jacob Blake shooting. He's the guy that had the knife. He was going into his car to retrieve his knife, and the cop shot him, and he ended up being paralyzed. He lived, but he was paralyzed. It was, you know, it was riots or protests for that.
Yeah.
But again, man, like, you're legally allowed to carry and also too, like, anyone could go and buy a rifle. I mean, especially like New York State. Like right now, I could go acquire a rifle or a shotgun. A pistol's different. You got to have, you know, a permit. And what's funny is
you don't need a permit for a bigger gun.
Nope.
Really?
Rifle or shotgun, you do not need a permit.
That's pretty wild. Why is that?
Because it's fucking Second Amendment, man. Right to bear arms, you know?
But so what's wrong with a pistol? It's the same thing.
Well, the thing is, a pistol you can conceal. Like today, for instance, you know, I'm a fucking police officer off duty. I went to the mall with my family, to the movies. I carried my pistol, but it's concealed. No one had a clue I had it. That's what makes it dangerous, because you can conceal it. Can't really conceal a rifle or a shotgun.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I was walking around with a rifle, it would raise a lot of red flags, and people would call the police. And
is there still a check that you have to go through to buy those, or you just go in the store and buy one?
I mean, laws have changed in New York. They like want you to register your long guns, but if you don't, they're not going to know you have it. You know, it was all for like political points. But
so if I walked into a store and I could buy a rifle and walk out with a rifle.
So Dick's doesn't sell shotguns anymore because you know, guns are so bad. But let's rewind 5 years ago. You go walk into Dick's and buy a shotgun and walk right out.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. And they don't need my information, nothing.
No.
Like you said, I don't have to register my gun.
Nope.
Wow.
Yep, rifle or shotgun you can legally possess without anything. It's the pistol that you need the permit for. Because again, you can stick it in your waistband and no one will know. And now you show up in a crowd and you start shooting, you know.
Okay. All right. See that.
And dude, in other states it's even less. Like when I was stationed in Virginia, dude, I could go buy a pistol I could just show my military orders.
Yeah.
And I could get a pistol. Like, so every state's got different gun laws, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then obviously some in the South and Midwest are way more lax than others. And, you know,
at Family Guy, they make the joke that Brian buys a bottle of booze and they just give him a gun like it's standard.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, every purchase comes with a,
dude, Texas, you can like open, like, you know, it's not even like a conceal. Like you can like straight up like cowboy holster it like on the outside of your fucking pants. Like you know?
That's crazy. See now, that's so. See, I
So,
didn't know that. Like, I guess I understand where that part of the gun control argument comes in. So you can buy this crazy, and that's again where they don't keep tabs on people who buy these giant assault rifles, because you can buy it, and but since you can't conceal it, you can go nuts and nobody's keeping tabs on you. So it's so easy to get a gun.
well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's been like that for years, and now they're trying to like backtrack it. That's why it's like a joke, dude. There's more guns in this country than people. Like,
Well,
think
yeah,
about it. Like, I know people that have 20 guns, right?
yeah,
They're one person with 20 guns. Now, is that necessary? I don't know. I mean, that's their fucking right to do that. Maybe that's their hobby, you know?
yeah. It's exactly. Some people get into collecting it and shit like
Right.
that, which is a
Like, is
thing.
it necessary for me to have fucking 7 signed jerseys down here? No, but that's my hobby. And some people
Jerseys,
like guns.
jerseys
Dude,
don't kill people.
well, right, of course, but yeah, guns don't kill people either. And we've
Yeah,
had discussion.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have 2 pistols in a safe upstairs. They're not growing legs tonight and going on a fucking shooting spree. That's not how it works.
But
And I
that's I know
actually
that's the
successfully
argument.
carried my pistol today without shooting anyone. It's
Wait,
amazing
what
how
happened?
I said I successfully carried my pistol today around and didn't kill anyone. So
Oh, well, that's good. Thank you.
right, yeah, but so yeah, again, people could say like, oh, it's unfair what happened and whatnot with Kyle Rittenhouse, but it is what it is. The facts are facts, and he's found not guilty. And what's funny too is like, you know, one of the guy, all 3 of the guys that attacked him are all convicted felons, one of which is a fucking
Really?
pedophile. Yep.
Wow.
And the one guy that had the pistol that's alive, his fucking pistol permit was expired and not renewed because he's a felon and he can't have a fucking pistol.
Wow. See,
But no
come
one
come
gave a
here
fuck.
for your come here for your news, folks, because this is all facts that the media leaves out.
Of course they do, man, because they all have a fucking narrative.
Yeah.
And then even today, man, like I saw some reactions to the Aubrey. Again, I forget his full name, but I saw some. It's like he was found, justice was served, but it's like Jesus Christ, just leave it alone. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, justice was served. Period. It's a shame what fucking happened, absolutely. But like these 3 people are going to rot in prison because of it, and rightfully so. Like, just leave
Yeah.
it at that. But we still have another problem. Well, this was yeah, we have a race problem. Okay, well, this was a fucking step in the right direction. Enough.
Yeah.
Not fucking looking for other issues. These guys were fucking found guilty. They're going to prison for life. And who knows? I don't even know if like down in Georgia, if there's a death penalty, because maybe they're awaiting that too. Who knows? But
Yeah.
the point is, they were found guilty. Case closed. That's it.
That thing you sent me before was pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't know. That was from fucking World Star. I don't know how accurate that is. But
Yeah.
again, people like to say, "Oh, fuck this country" and blah blah blah. Yeah, how about that? Imagine that, dude.
It said via MSN, so let me verify. So, all right, you clarify what you sent me while I try to verify if it's how true it is.
All right, here, let me see.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
so this
I'll
is this is
read it
how.
here. Yeah, news: North Korean student sentenced to death for smuggling copies of Squid Game. And it says, according to reports, a student in North Korea brought a digital copy of the show on a USB flash drive, which he shared with other students. Somebody tipped off the authorities and then arrested the student and sentenced him to be executed. Other students will be receiving a life sentence and hard labor punishment.
Fucking bonkers. So
Yeah.
yeah, so when I Google it, I've got Variety, Screen Rant, the New York Post, CBR, Forbes. Everybody's reporting it.
That's absolutely fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Death penalty for Rip stealing some fucking, oh my God. I would have died 50 times over.
Yeah, bro. When you hear shit like that, like, oh, this movie's still banned in all those countries, like, really? Because I watch that shit on the regular, and you're telling me that it's banned in other countries, I wouldn't be able to watch this shit? Who knows what this kind of shit you can get away with in this country?
Insane, man.
Yeah, that's I don't even know
I
how
think
to
we can
explain
all
it.
agree that's a little harsh of punishment.
And the other kids who watched it getting life sentences.
Life sentences, yeah. With hard labor. Like, that's not going to be like cushy time in the Bing,
Yeah. How about two, since we're going in the way of violence now? Did you see LeBron and Isaiah Stewart?
I did, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, LeBron's a punk, man. I fucking, you
Really?
know,
When I watched it, it looked like Isaiah Stewart was the one that was stirring up all the shit.
well, no, fucking, we got busted open because LeBron hit
Yeah.
him with a fucking dirty hand. Like, if you watch the replay, like LeBron, I won't say LeBron purposely busted him open, but he knew he was there and he kind of gave like a nudge. I
Uh-huh.
don't think he meant to bust him open, but then like, then he's getting, he's going after LeBron and LeBron's fucking like, whoa, I'm way too rich to be doing this.
Yeah, LeBron was backing up. Fucking Stewart was flipping shit. Guys were
Yeah.
holding him back. I never seen anything
Yeah.
happen like that at a basketball game before.
Oh, dude, you should YouTube Malice in the Palace.
Is that when there was the
The
riot with the
brawl.
crowd and
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah. Ron Artest and Steven Jackson and all these guys. Yeah. Fight spilled into the crowd. Ron Artest
Yeah, I may
punching.
have seen that before. This just seemed like the way he was going after him and people holding him back, like that just I don't know, it
Yeah.
seemed a little
Yeah. It was a little
excessive.
dramatic, but
Yeah. But yeah, that was something else.
LeBron got suspended for a game.
Oh,
Yeah. It
really?
was last night against the Knicks, and the Knicks took advantage and won.
Nice.
So,
There you go.
yeah.
I didn't know too because we talk about this a lot about people who maybe this was out there. I don't know. People that get sick and it's their own business. I didn't know Dick Vitale had cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. He got lymphoma, right? I think.
It does he? Is it throat
Yeah.
cancer?
I'm not sure. I don't know what it is, but
Oh, so that's exactly how it would fucking go.
he came back last night and called the game for the first time this season.
That's what I saw. It was all emotional when he came back.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why that happens so much, man. Like so Rob Paulson, who's a very famous voice actor, he did the voice of Yakko Warner from the Animaniacs.
okay,
He's the voice of Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. He does a shitload of voices, in a ton of cartoons. And he's a survivor, thankfully, but he had throat cancer. He's a fucking voice actor, gets throat cancer.
yeah,
Farrah Fawcett gets colon cancer. That's what Stern
yeah,
always
man,
talked about. Had a super nice ass on Farrah Fawcett. She gets colon cancer.
yeah,
It's a fucking cruel world we live in.
dude. Have you heard Stern lately? With his that guy is fucking petrified of COVID.
He was a big
Oh,
germaphobe anyway.
oh
I haven't
my
listened to him in a few
god,
years
dude.
because I
Yo,
stopped.
his not to try to spin this into a COVID thing. I'll just leave
We
it.
always do anyway.
He's out of control, man. He is fucking petrified. He may never come out of his house again.
Well, I don't know if he has folks come in now but yeah, he has his room in his house that's set up to look just like his studio.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, and he talks with guys on video screens. So yeah, so actually, I think he still just does video chats with
yeah,
folks. But yeah, no, you're right. He may never come out of his house because he was always big into germs anyway. But
yeah.
now because of COVID, forget about it. Who the fuck knows?
Oh, and he thinks like fucking Aaron Rodgers is like the Antichrist for
Oh, really? He is
unvaccinated.
super. I watched the video actually just recently. Artie Lang was on Opie and Anthony, but this was actually years ago, because Artie's fat and his nose is still intact.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen how fucked up his nose is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Destroyed.
yeah. He was on Joe Rogan and he was clean and sober and he told all the stories. He's still funny as fuck. But he told the story about how his nose got fucked up and he's like, yeah, I could get it fixed, but I don't know if I want to because when I look in the mirror, it lets me know how fucked up I was,
Yeah.
and I'll never go back. Um, but this video was he was on Opie, he was on the Opie show because Opie and Anthony had broken up, whatever. But he
Yeah.
talks about how Stern just got so liberal and
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like
Oh
he's like,
yeah.
we're on the show making fun of Ellen DeGeneres dancing on her show, and then now he talks on the show and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait for it. I look forward to her dancing on the show." Like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck
Oh yeah.
happened?
No, dude. I mean, that's what I was getting at. He's just a giant pussy now. Like it's not like that like fucking edgy Howard Stern that made him Howard Stern. He's like a different person. He's kind of like a bitch.
Yeah, a big thing that he talked about, like, because already brought up how, he took away the girls riding the Sibian. You know
Yeah.
what the Sibian is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big fucking horse
Yeah.
riding
Well
vibrator.
versed in that clip. Yeah.
But he brought that up. He was like, well, I mean, he's got daughters and stuff like that. So that's why he just has a different mindset now. And it's funny how that becomes a thing too. Like, do you get older and you realize this is somebody's daughter, man? This is my daughter. I have daughters too. I wouldn't want them doing this shit. and so it just everybody takes a different turn. And
Yeah.
ironically enough, because another thing I saw, which made me question the same deal, was they throw clips on Facebook all the time, old clips, and it was a clip of Roddy Piper on the Stern Show, and it was how he talked about how he's not a fan of wrestling anymore, and Vince McMahon has the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, and it's just he's like I got kids and stuff like that, and they don't they're not gonna watch that. But meanwhile, this is a dude who did an interview where he literally smashed a beer bottle on his forehead. Like he shoot for a shoot, smashed a beer bottle on his forehead. He's bleeding like crazy. He's got glass in his head. And now he's worried because he's got daughters and they're, or he's got kids and they don't want them watching wrestling with Vince McMahon's ass
Yeah.
hanging out. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. My daughter's too young for me to think about any of that kind of shit right now. But I, I don't know. I guess some people get like that where you just have that kind of change of heart.
Yeah. But he's like a different person now, I don't know.
Oh, Stern?
Yeah, I can see you cutting back on certain things, but he's just completely different.
Yeah, everything is he's super political and like not
Yeah.
political as in government, political as in politically correct, where he makes sure he doesn't offend anybody, he talks to everybody with respect. I mean, he became a very respectful interviewer anyway, just because he was very good at it. But now, like all the
Yeah.
people he had problems with, he no longer has problems with. He's mended bridges with everybody, which happens when you get older and you don't give a shit about that kind of petty shit anymore. But it's just interesting too. The same kind of thing has happened where he tries to be good all the time and tries to be wholesome and not controversial.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. Exactly. It's a different show. I haven't listened to it in years.
Yeah, me either. I just hear clips here and there.
Yeah, I know. Like if they again more stuff they put on Facebook, that's how I can keep tabs on it. Trying to think what else I had. One of the things I wrote down because we could go off on a whole tangent about this too. So I won't use names, and I doubt anybody fucking gives a shit anyway that pays attention to this. At least not yet. Um, so every day when my kid comes home from school, I have to hear about this other kid in his class that was doing shit. So and so today he took the thing out of my bag and he stepped on it. So and so today he knocked all the beads on the ground. And then today he told me that he tells the teachers he hates them. And like this one kid every day. And he's in preschool. So this kid's
Yeah.
already a little jerk off in preschool. But then he sees my son the last 2 days. He's seen my son like as they were leaving, and he's such a sweet kid. He's saying goodbye to my son. He's waving. He goes, "Daddy, look, there's Donovan." And he waves, and he seems like such a nice little kid. So it's like, is he just being a little asshole to be an asshole? Does he not know he's being a little asshole? His dad looks like a fucking schmuck. Big fat. This kid, he's an adorable looking kid, but if you put a sailor hat on him, he looks like one of those fucking mini puffs from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but his dad looks like they always show up in sweatpants, socks, and slippers. He's a big fat dude, but he's got no ass, so his fucking sweatpants are like down to his knees.
Yeah.
It's just a mess, and
Well,
it's
it's funny because my oldest comes home and has some of the same complaints. Now I think it's a combination of stuff because it's funny. I've heard him talk about got people at school like this and then see them interact. Like my sons are assholes to each other, but then they're like best of friends. Like that happens.
yeah.
So this is probably happening at school too. But I also think it's a combination of like, yeah, that kid may be a little bit of a dick, but also like my son's being a little sensitive and being like a tattletale too. So
Oh my god, my kid is
it's
such
like
a fucking rat.
like like sometimes he'll tell me stuff like, oh, he did this. I'm like, dude, that's so insignificant. Like if you would just been like, if you would just ignored it, like it would have went away and like he wouldn't have cared. Like it just complete nonsense.
Yeah, we've had to
Like he
tell him like,
bumped
look,
into me. I'm like, okay. Did you fall? He's like, no. Did it hurt? No. Then what the fuck are we discussing here, bro?
yeah,
Like,
that's when he told me he stepped on the thing that he made. I was like,
yeah,
okay, well, did he do it on purpose or did it by accident? He's like, he did it on purpose. He went in my bag and took it out and stepped on it. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
well, he's being a little shit. But then we have told him, like, look, buddy, don't worry about so much what he's doing.
Right.
All right. I mean, like there, he deliberately did something to him. So that's a different story. But when we have to hear about exactly like, oh, well, it was rest time and he got up and he didn't stay in his bed. Like, all right,
Yeah.
buddy, I know it sucks
Yeah.
that like he's the bad kid, but don't worry about him. You do you.
Yeah.
Let him be the bad kid all on his own.
Yeah, no, my oldest was yeah, he did this. I'm like, dude, this has no effect on you whatsoever. Like, who cares? Like, let the teacher worry about it. Like, who gives a
Yeah, I know. And like I said, when it comes to stuff where, because he had a tag on his bag like that said his name and what class he belongs to, and this kid
yeah,
ripped it right off like the fucking
yeah,
second day of school. So I mean, there's been stuff that have deliberately directly affected my kid, but there's plenty of shit that doesn't. But every fucking day, I have to hear about something that this kid did, and like there was a big thing about pushing, like it was, and then
yeah,
like Crystal said something to the teacher, and the teacher was like, "Yeah, we had a few parents complain about it because it was this fucking kid who was pushing people." And I want to
yeah,
go to the dad and be like, "Hey man, how come every day I have to hear about something that your fucking kid did?
yeah,
Can you get him under wraps?" We went to the park one day and this kid was there and he's picking up mulch and he's throwing it at other kids. And this kid is yelling at him to stop. Like, okay, so and he's fucking laughing. Like the fucking kid thinks it's funny. Like somebody get this little fucking butterball under control.
yeah,
And and exactly, and it's like, then what do you do in that instance? You know, kid, be the bigger man and walk away from him. You know, let him get in
yeah,
trouble on his own. But it just sucks because, like I said, he's in preschool. It's not like he's older and his kid's just grown into an asshole. He's an asshole from the start.
yeah. Well, he's probably the type of kid that just goes unchecked completely at home, like does
That
whatever he wants and
that's
acts
exactly the case.
and like I yell at my kids all the time, like especially in public if they're fucking around or bothering someone. Yeah, I'm all over that. But I've seen parents that are just like, whatever.
Yeah, no.
They
Yeah,
don't give a
it's definitely seen that shit too. I know. I try to keep my kids as in check as possible. Thankfully,
Yeah,
they
I
have
mean,
much
I
better.
would like in this day and age, I mean, I have to be on like the fucking spectrum far, far extreme, like strict in today's age.
Yeah.
I'd consider that. Like my kids go to bed at 8 o'clock. There's no fucking budging. They get up at 7.
Oh, because these kids are fucking geniuses.
Yeah, they cannot play with their electronics after like 7 o'clock.
Yeah. You give them an inch and they take a mile, man.
They
Forget
do
about it.
not bring their fucking iPads to restaurants. And I
Oh,
hate it. I go out with friends, and they fucking bring in their kid. And then like my oldest looks at me like, "Oh, dad." I'm like, "Not too
yeah,
fast."
we talked about that on the first episode, I
Yeah,
think.
that shit. It's like, they're gonna like they gotta learn some stuff and be somewhat like polite and
Yeah.
fucking have boundaries too. I just can't let them do whatever the fuck they want.
A thing that came up in the parent teacher conference that my wife went to was that my kid very much he needs to start doing more stuff on his own.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can very much see how he's like the center of everyone's world. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I fucking say all the time. He needs to do more shit on his own. But the
Yeah.
problem, like, there's certain shit, like little shit too, which becomes bigger shit, like watching streaming stuff or watching a video on YouTube and a commercial comes on. Daddy, can you turn it off? Turn this back on? And a lot of time I'm like, I can't, buddy. I can't skip this commercial or just deal with it. It'll come back on. But there is plenty of times if I'm sitting there and I got the remote next to me, I'll just skip the commercial real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a little insignificant thing, but that's something where it's like, you didn't we had to wait. You didn't get to skip commercials when we were growing
Yeah.
up. Now they're just like, Daddy, skip this.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will, but sometimes I won't. But that's a little thing that turns out to be a big thing where it's like, well, why can't you just turn this off? Why can't I watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it? I was like, well, you can, but it builds character to not be able to watch it whenever you want to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there's always that, delicate balance because, yeah, like, especially your oldest, like I know for us, like, he got fucking babied a little bit. He was our
Oh yeah,
first, like, and then the second one was like, you can kind of figure it out on your own there, guy,
yeah.
like it
Thankfully,
is what it is. You're a new parent, like, you're doing that, but
and thankfully my son is the more well behaved one of the two. My
yeah,
daughter doesn't give a shit about anything, and she's a monster, and she's very. But it sucks because I say that as I say that I'm like, oh, but there's been so many times where she's been so cute and polite, and she does listen and do what I want, but she's
yeah.
more the one that's like, no, I want it now.
It's
And I was
funny
like,
for a while, mine were like that, but right now, the older one's going through a phase where he's bad, and the younger one is an angel.
Oh, that's good.
Like we were on vacation, like the youngest, he was by far and away out of the 4 kids that were there, the most well behaved.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice to have.
Yeah. But they'll trade again. We'll talk again in 2 months and it'll be reversed. And
Yeah, and because they know they feed off of it. Because when one is bad, the other is good.
yeah.
Always. There was a time today where my son he was stomping around about something. And I told my daughter no, so then she was stomping around. And the two of them at the same time are jumping up and down because they want something. And man, oh man, that kind of shit drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But it was comical because it's like, look at the two of these damn kids. Like, no, neither one of yours are getting shit now. Get out of here.
Yep.
Anybody got a time for this shit?
No.
Parenting shit.
They can get very fucking frustrating at times.
Oh man, you ain't lying.
Like today, leaving the fucking movies, man. Like my oldest looks at Billy B's. He's like, man, those kids in there are so lucky. I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. Go fuck yourself. Well, go live with them then, right? Like, you son of a bitch. Like, we just brought you to the movie theater. We spent $60 on like popcorn and fucking snacks. You just had a large fucking soda. Go ask that fucking kid in Billy B's if he's ever had a large soda, because probably not, right?
Spoiled, rotten. Oh my God, all the time I have to
dude.
deal with that with my kid.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh man, those kids are really lucky in there. I was like, you're unfucking
We
believable.
just had a great time at the movies.
Oh, dude, and like obviously, Santa's still very much in play here, right? My
Yeah,
kids
that
are
worked for my
7 and
daughter.
5. They love Santa. So we're at the mall. Dude, I'm basically done Christmas shopping, man. I don't fuck around. I get busy like mid-October, right? I got my son all these like football jerseys, basketball jerseys, like fucking a new TV, all this shit, man. Spoiled fucking rotten. And we're in like this sport because he's huge into sports now. We're in this sports tour with all these jerseys and shit. And he's like, "Oh, daddy, can I get this?" I'm like, "No, buddy." I was like, "Hey, look." I was like, "Christmas is coming, all right?" He's like, "Oh man." He's like, "Yeah, I just want one. Like, why can't I have one?" I'm like, "Buddy," I'm trying to calm down. He's like, "Man, I can. You never get me these." I'm like, "You motherfucker."
It's the
You
worst.
have like 5 fucking like $100 jerseys like coming your way. Like, would you shut the fuck up?
Yeah, you
We're
don't even
literally
know.
30 days out. Tomorrow we are 30 days out from when the big man comes down the chimney to deliver this shit. And this kid is like, woe is me. It's like, you motherfucker.
My
Like, you
wife,
just got back from a fucking 7-day vacation in Orlando,
yeah,
and we took you out of school. All your friends were at school while you're doing this. Then you get home and it's like, oh, your football practice, and then we're gonna take you to the movies. We're doing all this shit. And he's like, oh, those kids in Billy Bees are so lucky. Oh, you never get me a jersey. It's like, you're killing me.
I get that shit all the time.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
ungrateful.
you never do anything with me. Like, bullshit. I do everything
Yeah.
with you. How dare you say something like that?
Unbelievable.
See, and what I try to do, because this actually always worked with me, is whenever my dad would want me to do something and I'd give him shit about it, he would lay it out. He'd be like, "Come on, we do this for you and that for you. Can't you just do this for us?"
Yeah.
And he'd say that, and I'd be like, "All right." Like when you lay,
Yeah.
I
See,
try to,
I don't think mine's at that age yet. He doesn't have that like reasoning in his brain
yeah,
yet.
because I try
I
to do that
think
with my
once he
kid, and it
does
doesn't work.
have it, I'll make him feel like a complete fucking low life. He'll be like, oh man, Dad, you do a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I know, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
oh, you're gonna hit him with the truth.
I'll be laying it on thick. Act like I'm heartbroken. Then he rounds the corner. I'm laughing.
Yeah. One thing that drives me nuts too. I mean, because there's two of them, so they can play together. But he always wants me to play. Daddy, can you play with me? Daddy, can you play with me? And it's like, no, but I want to sit on a couch and do nothing for a
Yeah,
day.
I
Sorry,
know.
buddy. I
I
have to
feel I
work.
feel awful. Like today, like I snapped at my oldest. So I'm outside. I put up the Christmas lights today, right? So I was like, all right, let me get it done. You know, it's not too cold out. I knock it out before we go to the movies. And I'm out there and I'm running the issues. Like one of the strands doesn't work. I didn't have like twine to tie off like the garland around like the fucking banister. So I like ran the Lowe's real quick to get what I needed. Come back. I'm hustling, doing it all. I come inside and he's like, "Are you done?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can we go play basketball now?" I'm like, "No, I'm not fucking playing basketball." "Oh, come on." I'm like, "Yeah, I just fucking put up these fucking Christmas lights for like 3 hours and it's for you guys." Because like
Yeah.
if I didn't have fucking kids, I probably wouldn't put them up. I was like, "I'm fucking gonna relax for a minute, then we're gonna shower and go to this fucking movie." Like, no, I'm not gonna fucking play basketball. Like, just back up,
Yeah.
like chill out. And I felt
Always.
bad because he just wants to like go play. And and then I like reflected and I felt bad, but I've become like super stubborn with them where it's like, I'm not fucking apologizing to them. Like, fuck these
and it
little kids.
and it sucks because you want to spend that time with them. Like I
Yeah.
get all the time when Donovan's home, we're working. Dad, can you take your lunch break? Like, no, buddy, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I can't take my lunch break right now.
Yeah.
All right. Or then, Daddy, when we get home, like I'll go to pick him up for school. I'm like, Daddy, when you get home, can you play with me? Like, no, kiddo. I just spent my lunch break picking you up from school, and now I gotta go food shopping, and then we're gonna go home, and then I gotta get back to work. So sorry, I
Yeah.
used up my lunch break picking you up. Sorry, I can't play when we get home.
Yeah.
And it sucks because yeah, I'd want to play with him, but it just like I always played on my own. And
Yeah.
there's a time I can think of where I was playing with action figures and actually asked my dad to play too, and it lasted like 5 seconds because it was like, all right, never mind, Dad, thanks, I'll take
Yeah.
that back. Like
Yeah.
you're not the kid,
You don't know what
you're
the
not
fuck.
doing. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what.
Iron Man doesn't do this shit. You're
Yeah,
cut off. Yeah.
that's exactly what it was. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Give me that back.
Yeah.
Let me play on my own. You're deviating from the story here.
Yeah.
And that's the memory I have. I never really hounded. I mean, again, my dad took me to do a whole bunch of shit. But when it came
Yeah.
to just playing around the house, I always just played with action figures and did my
Yeah.
own thing. But my
Yeah,
kid is,
my youngest is more independent with that shit. I catch him using his imagination and playing.
yeah,
My oldest was like, "Oh, can we play?" Like he always wants to play Fortnite. I'm like, dude, buddy, I don't want to play Fortnite. Like
yeah,
it's not in my realm, and you just whoop my ass. It's like it's not fun. Like, but I feel bad because he like wants talking to Mike and play. So I'll like oblige, but I'm like, all right, just two more games. That's it.
yeah.
Always wants to play that. And like you
So
feel
much.
bad, like walking it out loud now. It's like, oh wow, cool, guys. You sound like big pieces of shit.
I know, but any parents out there know.
Oh, of course, dude. And if you understand if you have kids.
Yeah, and
But
see,
like
and
you,
I'm
man, sometimes like you have nothing going on, but you just got done working. Like, oh, you want to play? Like, no, I kind of want to just sit on this fucking couch
yeah,
and like veg out. I don't even want to do anything. I just want to like stare into space. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to do anything.
And I have all like he has my He-Man stuff, he has my Ghostbusters stuff, so it's all shit that I'm into, and I have to explain to him who's who and this and that. So I'll like with toys and stuff, I'll play with him for a little bit, but then if I don't want to, he expects me to play with him. But the worst is like, all right, buddy, can't we just like lay down and play with action figures? I don't want
Yeah,
to get up and run around and be
yeah.
fucking, and I don't want to run around and catch ghosts right now. All right,
Let's
I'd
play
rather
the
play with,
nap. Let's play the nap game.
yeah, yeah. I'd
Let's
rather lay on the
pretend
floor.
I'm dead. How about that?
Exactly. Oh, I do that all the time. Whenever
Yeah,
he shoots me with shit, I'm always like, oh, and then I lay down. And it's like, no,
yeah,
no, daddy, you don't fall down from that.
yeah.
Are you
Like, no, I'm
sure?
dead. It's over. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. You shot me once, game over.
Yeah, great shot, kid.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to run around the house and catch ghosts right now. I'd rather lay on the floor and play with Ghostbusters toys. Can't we just do
And dude,
that?
they're like you know how like dogs never get full? Like you just keep feeding a dog and feeding a dog. That's how kids are off like playing. Like, dude, like you could legitimately play with them for like 2 hours and they want to play for a third,
Yeah,
fourth. And it's just like
exactly.
it's like they'll never be like, okay, dad, that's enough.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always the parent that's got to be like, all right, buddy, that's enough. Let's calm
Yeah,
down
they're like,
now.
oh, like, dude, we just played for 7 hours. All
Yeah,
right. Like I really like come on.
let's go watch some TV. I'll put on whatever you want.
Yeah.
I do the way, yeah, I do it with my kids now. What do you want to watch? Vlad and Nikki? Sure, fuck it. Let's put Vlad and Nikki on the YouTube. I think Ryan from Ryan's World has a balloon in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Oh yeah.
Fucking crazy is that? He's on Nickelodeon now.
Yeah.
He's a fucking superstar.
Praise tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, the Thanksgiving parade's tomorrow on Thanksgiving.
Mm, yeah. No, I meant like I'm losing track of the fucking time here.
Yeah.
I know when the fucking Thanksgiving Day parade is, right?
Have you ever been to the parade?
No.
I went
I
one year.
Parades are kind of whack to me. They're
Oh
kind of
yeah,
boring.
I love
Yeah,
parades.
not a big parade guy.
Your kids like parades, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. My
but
daughter
not
now.
now. Parades are dangerous, man. You saw it happen in Wisconsin.
Oh my God, how fucked up was that?
Very fucked up.
Yeah, how many people died? They caught the guy though, right?
Initially, it was like 5 dead, 40 injured.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, Christmas fucking parade.
Yeah, what a dick.
I know.
I know they were trying to investigate a motive or some shit. I don't know if they found that. I was just
Well, I guess
probably just a bad day.
what I heard, he was involved in another altercation. I think he stabbed someone. He was fleeing that scene,
Oh,
and then fucking just decides to run people over in a parade.
yeah. Jesus Christ. Did you ever see the video of the guy who drove through the bike race?
Probably.
I think it was on Tosh, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy just plowed through a shitload of people. And it's like, when you see something like that, like, what an asshole. But you know what? That guy probably just had a bad day at work, and the road was closed, and
Yeah.
enough was enough.
Yep.
That's actually in there's a Batman comic called The Killing Joke. They made an animated movie out of it. And the animated movie actually sucked, but the book is legendary. Um, and he says it. You know, I have it. I might be able to quote it, where he talks about like the Joker and how it's a Joker origin story, and he talks about how he became the Joker because it really doesn't take much for someone to go crazy and become the
Yeah.
Joker. Let me find it. Yeah, I've got a copy of it right here, but let me see if I can quote it correctly. There we go. Yeah, where he talks about like that's how. Oh, fuck, this isn't it. He talks about this is it. So he talks about how close people are to becoming the Joker. Like that's all it takes is just one bad day to
Yeah.
be the Joker. Oh, if I can fucking find it. Like, where's the fucking quote? I don't know what the fuck it is. I probably Google it and find it faster. Yeah, let me do that. But yeah, so that's because that's exactly what it is. It doesn't take much to go off the deep end, especially when you're fucking a dad or just a guy and you've seen so much shit. Yeah, so um, let's see. Yeah, if you just yeah, of course people have quoted it 100 fucking times. There's memes out the ass of it. So all it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. That's how far the world is from where I am. One bad day.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's deep.
scary thought. That was actually written by Alan Moore, who wrote Watchmen and V for Vendetta and From Hell, which is another book of his. They made a movie, I think, about Jack the Ripper. Uh, I don't know, super great. Oh, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Um, very proficient comic book writer that actually hates movies and hates his shit being adapted to movies and wants nothing to do with it. So when four of his books have become movies, he has not made a single cent and he doesn't give a fuck.
Huh. Well, that guy's a fucking idiot in my book.
Yeah. He's a very passionate artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very broke, passionate artist.
Maybe he does well. He was actually on The Simpsons,
Oh yeah.
so he's kind of a big deal. But yeah,
Well,
but
he could be richer.
yeah. Apparently he's a nice guy because actually, here's something that ties into that. I don't think we talked about that. It's something else we both love. Um, so I was listening to an interview with David Hayter. David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, and also the screenwriter who wrote X-Men. X-Men 2, he wrote The Scorpion King, he wrote the Watchmen movie. And he said he talked to Alan Moore. Um, he sent it to him or something, the script he sent to Alan Moore to read, and Alan Moore liked it. And he said Alan Moore was super nice about it because as much of a dick he is when he doesn't want people adapting his shit, he just kind of differentiates it. Like he said, the comic book is his story, but the movie, David, that's your story. Wish I could do the English accent that David Hayter did because it was really good.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting way to put it. As much as he doesn't give a shit about his movies becoming or his books becoming movies, he's kind of okay with other people doing it because then it just becomes somebody else's story. Yeah, David Hayter's a really cool guy. I so many times I've thought about getting you a cameo from him.
Yeah.
I just haven't pulled the trigger because he's kind of expensive.
Oh,
He's kind of
really?
expensive for what I want to do. I really just want. I've thought about this so many times, where because you can watch his videos on. Have you ever done a cameo or checked out cameo?
Yeah. Guys I work with um, got a cameo for me as a promotion gift from Corey Chase. Google Corey Chase.
Okay, I think I know who Corey Chase is.
Yeah. Hot stepmom porn
Yes,
star. Yeah.
maybe I do. Maybe I've heard that name before. But okay,
So,
so yeah, I've done a few. I got my dad one from the from Johnny Brenner from the Jerky Boys. I got my wife one from a guy from This Is Us.
yeah.
But if you watch the previews, every one that David Hayter does is like, "Hey, so and so, this is Solid Snake." I want to just get one. I've thought about it so many. I won't do it now, obviously, because I'm going to tell you. But I thought so many times about because there's so many things you could have him do because he's a military guy, this and that. Of
Yeah.
him just being like, "Hey Seth, this is Solid Snake. Fuck you," and that'd be. And
Oh,
I figured that would kill you, but I'm not going to drop 150 bucks just to do that.
yeah. That would be
Yeah,
fucking funny.
I could tell you about it instead. If I was gonna drop 150, I'd probably have him say a whole bunch of shit, but
Yeah.
him just
That
saying,
would be funny though.
"This is Solid Snake. Fuck you." Like you're expecting this whole thing.
Oh,
Maybe one day when you forgot about it, I'll do it again.
yeah. I'd love to replay fucking the first Metal Gear.
Yeah. Which one was your favorite one? First one?
I mean, the first one like created the love for it, but like two is really cool. Snake Eater was cool, but yeah, that's tough, man. The latest one on PS4 is like fucking bananas, dude.
Is that the Phantom Pain?
Yeah, and like I got like 30 hours invested in it. And I don't think I'm even like a third of the way done.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's the one where Kiefer Sutherland took over, right?
Yes. And it's like an open world in like a fucking desert, dude. You're riding a horse. It's crazy.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. But
Yeah.
yeah, Sons of Liberty was cool.
Sons of
You
Liberty
know,
was very cool. That was the last one I played. I think on your PS5 was the last one I played.
yeah. And
Um, Snake Eater for me, I think was it because as
yeah,
convoluted as it seemed, where you have to like eat shit to stay alive, and you have camouflage and stuff like that. That game was so much fun to me.
yeah. Number two was sick too, especially that opening scene.
Yeah, and then
Fucking
you get
nuts.
to actually fight Metal Gear versus Metal Gear.
Yeah.
So many quotable lines. I remember how much because that was big because we were in high school when that came out.
Yeah.
Were we in high school? Yeah, we were in high
Yeah.
school,
When two came out, yeah.
and we were talking about the story and how convoluted the fucking story got, how crazy when it starts glitching and it actually tells you that you should turn the game off. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like in the first one too, when Psycho Mantis starts reading your memory card. You're
Oh
like,
yeah.
what? Holy shit.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to plug the controller into the second controller spot.
Yeah. So creative. Yeah. It's such an awesome game.
Yep.
So dramatic, so well written and stuff, you know.
Yeah. And the voice
Like when
acting
you
was,
finally like make it to see and you finally see Metal Gear and like how dramatic the music is and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, when Solid Snake, or not Solid Snake, when they reveal that Master Miller was Liquid Snake the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what a fucking mind blower that was.
Yeah.
This whole time you've been talking to, and it's like, and it fucking shows
Yeah.
them me, dear brother. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Dude, you're so creative. Like when you're fucking locked up and you gotta use like the ketchup, or
Yeah,
you gotta
yep.
hide so the guard comes
Hide under
in
the bed. Yeah,
knocking. Shut up in there, will
yeah.
you?
We still quote that shit to this
Shut
day.
up.
Yeah, those games were fucking fantastic. There's nothing like those games. It was so much fun.
Snake, snake, snake.
Yeah, and all the there was so much stuff to talk about with it too. Like, okay, what happens if you give up or if you submit when they're torturing you? What happens if you don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, the blatant fist fight you have with Liquid at the top of Metal Gear at the end. Yeah, it's like a movie. It was so much,
Yep.
you know. Now, was it me? Did I send it to you? Are they making a Metal Gear movie and Oscar Isaac is going to be Solid Snake?
I don't know.
I think that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah,
David
I'd be
Hayter has
okay with
nothing to
that.
do with it. Didn't write it. Didn't do shit. Fucking shame.
Yeah.
Because he seems like a cool dude. I've actually tweeted at him a few times.
Yeah.
Um, or I've messaged. Yeah, I tweeted him, and he like messages me back. Like he doesn't tweet back. He messages back. He's fucking super cool. Like I've asked him writing questions or something, and
Oh,
yeah, he messages me back. He's fucking awesome. Super cool dude.
yeah, but he is the voice, It's bullshit that they got rid of him.
Yeah, and apparently there's a beef between like him and Hideo Kojima about that shit. Like they just dropped them without telling him or something. I don't know. Maybe they just thought Kiefer Sutherland would get more star power. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking heartbreaker. Because he is Solid Snake. He's the man, and the
Oh,
voice acting in that game like set the pace for voice acting in any game because it was so
yeah.
good. The
Oh, yeah.
guy who does the voice of Liquid is Cam Clark, who was the voice of Leonardo in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he does a voice in a bunch of shit.
Didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
know.
top notch fucking voice talent in that game.
Yeah.
David Hayter's done a bunch of shit too. I think he was Captain America in the Spider-Man cartoon.
Wow. Didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Fucking voice acting is great. That's another awesome thing to look into. There's a documentary from. Have you ever played Gears of War? Probably not because you were a
Yeah. No,
PlayStation
I
person.
did.
You have. Gears of
Yeah, I
War is
had.
a fantastic game.
Yeah.
The guy that does the voice of Marcus Phoenix, the main guy in Gears of War, he does the
Yep.
voice of Jake the dog from Adventure Time, Bender the robot on Futurama.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, he does a whole, and he made a documentary called "I Know That Voice" or "I Recognize That Voice," and it covers all the voice actors and all the, and all the roles they do. Because one voice actor does so many roles, and you're like, oh my god, that guy did the same fucking voice. Like, did you
Yeah.
know that Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince did the voice of Shredder on Ninja Turtle?
I did know that. And the reason I remember that is because when I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't
Yeah,
believe it. Yeah. I
yeah,
did know that.
crazy.
That was weird when I found that out.
Yeah, there's so much shit and it sucks when I watch something now. That's all I do is look for that, and I hear a voice, and I'm like, who's that voice? I know that voice.
One of the trailers they played today before Ghostbusters was that new Superman movie, like the with the dog, and it's The
Yeah,
Rock, and the other dog's Kevin Hart. Yeah.
yep, yeah, the League of Super Pets or something. Yeah, which
Yeah.
doesn't come out until May. They're
Yeah.
they're pushing the trailer now. It doesn't come out until May. Like, holy fuck, Rock. All right, man, give it a break. We got nothing going on till then.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, when I went, there's of course the mandatory half an hour worth of trailers.
Yeah. Oh,
What other
yeah.
trailers did you see?
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Um, yeah, that one with The Rock. What else was there? That new Hispanic Disney movie, Enchanto or
Oh,
Ensanto
and
or
Canto, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Um, what else?
West Side Story was one when I went.
I didn't see that.
See, now I've seen West Side Story. I saw the original, and it's like, okay, West Side Story, it's not a big deal. But man, this trailer, because it's a Steven Spielberg movie, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But this trailer made it look like a real epic fucking movie not to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rush out to the theaters to see it, but the trailer sure got me interested in it. There was also a trailer for the Matrix.
I didn't. Well, I didn't see that today, but I just saw that recently.
Yeah, The Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, it wasn't today I saw, or was it? No, it wasn't today. But I did see that recently.
Yeah, that's a thing that's gonna be a big deal, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a bummer that they're bringing that back, but I don't know what the fuck the deal is gonna be with that.
Yeah.
Everything is just hurting to become something else. Like, all right, everything sucks right now. We need to bring everything back. We're not even gonna reboot it. We're just gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Like guaranteed, because Star Wars did it, Ghostbusters did it, The Matrix is gonna do it, where it's pretty much gonna be a retelling of the original story.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, because they show him where he's taking blue pills, then he stops taking blue pills, which is suppressing his memories of the Matrix. But who knows if it's the same fucking Keanu? Maybe it's like, the Matrix circles through again. You know how they explain that shit in the third one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a whole nother generation of Keanu. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I don't know what the Wachowski sisters are gonna do. Did you know that
What?
they're not the Wachowski brothers anymore? I think both of them are transgender.
Really?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I know one of them. I know one of them did. Um, I don't know if it was both. Yeah, Lana Wachowski is now, um, and Lily Wachowski. Yeah, both of them are now, so the Wachowski brothers and now the Wachowski sisters.
Congrats, guys, girls.
It's wild that both of them. It seems like
Yeah.
that's just like a statistic thing, But it's very interesting that both of them, you know, transgender.
Yeah, that is weird.
Eh, I don't lose any sleep over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, did you ever see any of their other movies?
What else do they make?
Ninja Assassin.
Uh,
I saw it. I think I watched a crappy copy of it. It was okay. They did the Speed Racer though. Speed Racer I loved.
not really.
Did you ever see
Yeah,
Speed
no.
Racer? Probably not.
No, I remember when it came out though.
Yeah, I really don't think that's your cup of tea. I loved Speed Racer. Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember it coming out.
yeah. I'm trying to think what else they did. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't know. You seem tired. I look tired. You seem tired. You're yawning and just kind of chilling back.
Well, yeah, it's 11:15.
11:15 the day before Thanksgiving, where we used to be out drinking, and now we're sitting home podcasting while our kids are asleep upstairs.
Yeah, me and my wife were talking about that before. And dude, I remember like the first year I finally didn't go out. It was like life changing because I was like, wow, so I'm getting up at a decent hour. I'm actually enjoying like my food because I wasn't hungover. It's kind
See,
of
I
nice.
never, I never went out a lot the day before Thanksgiving. I didn't know that was a thing until I only maybe went out the day before Thanksgiving like one or two times.
I did it pretty consistently for fucking like 9 years before I had kids.
Really?
Yeah, I would get hammered. Would literally wake up at like 12:15 because I would set an alarm to wake up for football.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
remember one time I went out with you. We went to whatever that fucking bar was in the middle of Monroe, not Bourbon Street. It was on the other side of the block from Bourbon Street.
Manhattan's.
Maybe it was Manhattan's at the time, yeah. And we did a shot and it came right back up and I fucking threw up on myself. And I was like, yep, take care, guys. Have a good night. See you another time. And you fucking called me right out, like, bro, you throwing up right now? And it was like, nope. I fucking went in the bathroom and turned my shirt inside out, and it was a crew of people leaving. I was like, I'm hitching a ride with you guys. Take care. I don't even know if I said goodbye. Just fucking split.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was a late bloomer because here I am drinking straight whiskey.
Yeah.
That's very much what it was. I didn't start drinking beer till I was 25.
Mm.
Didn't start drinking coffee till I was 30. Just a late bloomer, but came around.
There you go.
Drink
That's
a
all
lot
that
of it right
matters.
now. What's that?
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
That's what a friend of my father's used to say when later on we go golfing. He'd be like, "Man, we used to wonder whose kid this was, and then now look at him now. He's cursing, he's drinking a lot of beer while we were playing golf." I'm like, yeah, eventually I came around. I think for dinner last night I had 3 beers for dinner.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's not even like I ever get drunk or feel inebriated or anything. It's like because I don't suck them down. I'll drink them out over time, and I feel like you know, I don't know. It's not like I drink all day. It doesn't affect my fucking judgment or my day. It's not like I
Yeah.
can't get up for work in the morning because I'm so drunk or wasted. But it's just I don't know how that works out. I guess that's in my blood. Just coming home and like we talked about this I think in a previous episode where you don't come home and drink. You'd rather come home and have a soda or something. I It's like
Yeah.
as soon as my work day is over, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have a beer and chill out for the night.
Yeah. Yeah. I never got into it, but
Mm, yeah, I don't know. And I drink heavy shit too.
yeah.
It's like I drink a ton of fucking Budweiser or Miller Lite. I drink
Right.
heavy shit like Sam Adams. And fuck, I can only have two. Like for tomorrow, I bought a uh, I bought a 4 pack of Broken Skull IPA,
Oh, nice.
which is 4 pints of beer. But yeah, but that's a good beer, man. You've had it, right? Have you had it at my
Yeah.
house?
Yeah. I have one in my fridge right now.
It's a good beer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Yep. Yeah, he ain't bullshitting when he wants to say that's a good beer and it's his beer. It's actually a really good beer.
Yeah. No, it was good.
And it's just
I was expecting it to suck, but
yeah.
he
It's
came through and like the rock.
I
That
was
was
just
nice.
gonna say it's the Zoa of beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's damn good beer. The rattlesnake wouldn't let you down like that when it came to beer.
That's right.
Yeah. The Rock, on the other hand, tequila is what he's worried about.
Yeah. His tequila is good though.
I still haven't had it.
Yeah, it's good.
I've got a lot of tequila. I've got like a bottle of 1800, and I think I've got a bottle like Patron Silver. Um, and I don't drink a ton of tequila, so I haven't been able to circle around and pick up a bottle of his tequila yet.
Yeah, it's good.
Summertime will be margarita time, and that's when the tequila comes in. When you drink it, do you drink it straight or you drink a mixed drink?
Um, I do both. I've done shots of it.
Well, yeah.
And I've made some margaritas. I made some fucking potent margarita the first time. It was like fucking what is that? Contrayu, fucking tequila and like lime juice. Oh, it was so strong. I was like fucking hammered off of one.
I make the Broken Skull margarita, which is Stone Cold's margarita recipe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, where it's like 2 ounces of tequila, an ounce and a half of triple sec, an ounce and a half of lime juice, and then you float an ounce of Grand Marnier on the top.
yeah.
It's an awesome tequila,
Oh yeah,
but each drink is a triple. So I had a party. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but we had like a Fourth of July party. It might have been this year. Um, we had like a Fourth of July kind of get together, and I had like two or three of them, and I felt okay because I mean I was just outside and sweating, and I sipped them and dragged them out throughout the day. So it's not like I got wrecked on them. But
yeah,
man, yeah, they were really good. They're really good just to sip and take a sip off of here and there. I mean, if you throw them back, obviously you're gonna get smashed. But
yeah.
take your time drinking it. But it was an enjoyable drink for it to have so much alcohol in it. Yeah, it was good. And then actually I listened to a podcast where a girl made one. She made a Broken Skull margarita with Terramana tequila, and she called it the WrestleMania 17.
Oh, nice.
So I'll have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I think we've dragged this out long enough.
yeah. It was a good one. It was long.
Yeah, had a little fun. Got I feel like when we talk about serious shit, it's not a lot of banter. It's just informational. When we
Yeah,
talk about things that are interesting, we kind of just riff and it makes it more enjoyable.
yeah,
But I think talking about the controversial stuff is the stuff where we have like the differing opinions. And I learned shit like like just explain about the gun laws, and so it's helpful and it's informational. Hopefully it's entertaining too. But I enjoy it. It's usually how it goes. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
anybody else thinks. If it's something you enjoy, that's what matters.
Yeah. Touch on a little bit of everything,
It's yeah, that we sure as shit did today too. I can't wait to
Yeah.
do the write up for this one. Be like, all right, we fucking talked about everything. We talked
Yeah.
about kids and guns and fucking, you know,
Tequila
tequila
and
video
fucking
games.
movie writers who are dudes that are now chicks.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
All right, so you can as usual, you can check out my comic book, Championship Wrestling League #1, available on Amazon right now. So go buy a bunch of copies of it so that way I can afford to actually make print copies of it because that shit is expensive. And I really need to do that. That's what a lot of people are waiting for, to buy a copy that they've told me because they're waiting for print copies. But I don't have any money to pay for print copies. Too fucking expensive. But one day, Pop Quiz Apparel has a sale going on right now through Sunday, 40% off every pin in the store, which is huge. So go to Etsy and search Pop Quiz Apparel, and then it will say, "Did you mean store Pop Quiz Apparel?" And click on that and go there. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Spear Jr., Instagram Mike Spear Jr., Instagram at CWL Comic, Instagram at Mind Your Effing Business, Instagram at The Uncollected, Instagram at Pop Quiz Apparel, Instagram at Cube Nerds, um, and Instagram at Make Life Pod. But that one, I don't do anything with that one.
Any more Instagram accounts, or is
No, I
that
think that's all of them. I
oh,
wanted to do one Instagram page once. It was called Text Message Movie Reviews,
yeah.
which I started an Instagram page for it. I never just kept up with, which I thought it was a funny idea when it was like, "Hey, did you see something?" And then somebody texts back what they thought of it real quick. Like that's it. Text message movie reviews is like a quick little paragraph, like it
Yeah.
sucked or somebody's quick opinion on it. It's kind of an
That could be
idea I
cool.
never kept up with
Yeah.
because I have like two friends that I would text about those things, and it's like if you didn't see it, well, I guess that was it. It's not something I could keep up
Be
with.
making a post today, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. If I could even log into it or find it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's been hacked and fucked up by now. Who knows? Yeah. So there's the Facebook group. Tell your friends and join, and you should tell some of your friends and invite them to it too.
Yeah, I got to. I'm not very savvy on Facebook. I'm barely on that fucking thing, so
Uh,
I got to check out because I'm a. What am I, an administrator in that
yeah,
group?
you're an admin on
I
there.
could probably yeah, I could probably fucking share it with my whole friends list, right?
Yeah, you can actually go to invite, I think, and you can invite anybody on your friends list to
All
it.
right.
I
Ah,
invited a
fuck.
ton of people. I think there's 72 people in it right now. I really just post memes.
Yeah.
I posted a poll today about if we should live stream this or not. I only did like an hour before, so I think like two people said yes. One fucking dick cousin of mine said no.
I saw.
Um,
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering if that was like a guy being funny or if it was like this is serious. Guys like,
yeah,
nah.
no, he's a ball buster, that dude.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I mean, maybe next time we'll do that. We'll look into StreamYard and see about streaming it and stuff like that too. And that's where people can actually live chat and stuff during the show.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. Um, yeah, that's it.
Well, enjoy your Thanksgiving and your turkey and whatever else you're having.
Yeah, you too, dude. But my neighbor across the street, she's Polish. She made a horseradish cranberry sauce.
Hmm.
I'll check it out. Sure. I'll dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Right? I got an open mind. I'm down.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yep. Yeah, so all right, man. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Thanks for listening, folks. We will chat again next week.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Later.
Later, man.